Welcome to Decode Podcast Foundation Series. It is Sunday, 11/21/21. We got Jeff here. Hi, Jeff.
Hey.
You got Mike here. Hi, Mike. I'm well.
Hey,
Thank you for asking. And we're going to be continuing on with our coverage of Foundation, and we're dying for feedback, y'all. We have done 3 watch-through episodes of the Dune movie. So the Dune movie, 2 hours, 35 minutes, with our commentary and pausing and whatnot. We did 3 episodes of just watching it and talking through it. Today, we're going to be doing the same with episode 2 of Foundation. It was released about a month and a half or close to 2 months ago. So do people feel like they need this or want this as compared to talking about the book? Do they feel that just summarizing it in a talk track instead of watching it would be better? We don't know, but we're going to be recording another couple episodes of this same format. So you can be the reason we continue doing it throughout the entire season, or you can be the reason that we say, nah,
knock it the fuck off.
Yeah, we're just going to summarize we're just going to summarize the episode in our episode here. But we want to try new things, and we want to hear where people are at. So decodedune@gmail.com. Then we got Decode Dune, the Facebook group. Please join Foundation and Dune. Let us know what you think. We have one recently vocal person. I called him a jabroni recently. I'll call him a jabroni again. And he's been giving us feedback, and so if you want to participate in that feedback, then please hit us up. We also have Instagram, Decode Podcast Dune, and that's that. So Jeff, before we start streaming this episode, I have a couple of things on my mind.
Okay,
would you like to hear those?
Of course I would, Mike.
You have things on your mind as well?
Knife fighting,
and
antifungals.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just teasing. Yeah.
Here's some things on my mind. First, I'm just going to assume that everyone who's listening to this episode has joined us the full way through all of the Dune, all of the Foundation, whatever. I found another thing. I don't want to drag this out, but I found another thing that was a little bit of a bummer about the Dune movie that we didn't necessarily comment in our watch through or in our pre-watch through kind of first takes. And
what was it, Mike? What'd you find?
And you might say we may have covered it slightly, but not fully in my, one of the things with Keynes is the scene with the sandworm ends with her being like, you are temporary, the ultimate job is not really what you're doing here.
Yeah.
And that's cool, right? But what we didn't get to see was the fact, I would say the audience would view this as the opposite, to be honest, but let me just make my thoughts a little bit more clear. What we didn't get to see from Keynes is the idea over the course of the experience of going out to the desert and the whole sandworm thing and getting rid of stuff to save the people. We didn't see the idea that Keynes was internally going, maybe the new boss isn't like the old boss, and I might actually like this Duke, which is exactly what happens in the book. And then in not the next scene necessarily, but in the dinner scene, which we know was filmed and cut, we know that we in the book would have seen Keynes starting to throw his, in the book, or her in the case of the movie, her social capital around by virtue of having the Dukes back, or the Atreides largely they're back in the little bit of the debate with the water shipper and the whoever the hell that was in the dinner scene where Keynes's boy Tuek was ready to go to blows, and he was able to call it off and all of that. That was again to be understood as this is the beginning of Keynes recognizing that being coup d'etat with the Atreides was in the best interest for him, her, and Arrakis at large. And again, it's just another bit of inserted conflict in the movie that isn't there in the book, where the book is, I think everyone understands the idea that these Atreides are so charismatic and whatnot that people are just compelled to throw their allegiances toward them. And, you know, the movie has undone that in a couple places, and in this case has undone it yet again. And that's a thing. So just something I found myself thinking about that we didn't mention specifically in our movie coverage.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Jeff, do you have any thoughts about that?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're kind of cool with it is what it is.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I am cool with it is what it is.
The other comment I was going to say, and this is just sort of, I'm not really sure what the purpose of this comment is I have not read a single page of The Wheel of Time, but I did watch the first 3 episodes of it as they premiered on Amazon Prime this weekend. And I have to tell you, not having read the books to be disappointed, I thought it was quite lovely. And I think that there is a burden of having experienced the book and then watching the adaptation that I think doesn't translate the other way. So I have heard people say, as predictably as book people will do, they butchered the book to make this show. Mike might get ravenous about his interest in this story, maybe after season 2, waiting for season 3 or something 2 years from now. And I'll be like, I got to read it. And I'll be like, oh, the show had to make some compromises, but the book is whatever. So that's just an interesting thing, because where I'm going with this is, before we start watching episode 2 of Foundation, the thought that I've had since the night we watched it, which was, I've rewatched it since, but I watched it the night that this show aired, which I can look up real quick, but I don't think it matters. Premiere date. So we watched it on September 24th, and episode 2 to me was a real stinker. I really didn't like it. I was watching it with my wife, who doesn't know anything about the book other than just the snippets I've told her. And she's like, this show is cool. And I was like, I'm about to say, maybe we shouldn't be talking about it on this podcast. And if it's just another sci-fi show that has no real bearings on the book that I've read, then like, it's just another show that I'm not going to get around to, the same way, like, no, I haven't watched Squid Game. No, I'm not going to watch it. I don't have time. However, having rewatched it and having had the time to separate myself from the book and just see it as its own thing, I think it's, like I said, it's another sci-fi story. It has some compelling moments, and my feelings about it are a little bit, and I want to comment. I thought episode 2 was a stinker. It really, episode 1 had some changes. They did a 9/11 stuff we've talked about, but episode 2 really made me go like, why the fuck are we even watching this? However, I've watched the show, and I think it redeemed itself, air quotes, nicely, in the sense that I really do quite like this show. Differences from the book and whatnot, because the book, to be honest, is not necessarily that. It's mostly just a story that I've already said could be handled in like a 20-page epilogue or prologue. But anyway, I'm rambling. I just want to say, was really disappointed by this episode. However,
can you, when you say it was a stinker, what was the stinky part for you? I don't think I've heard it.
Harry Seldon getting stabbed. That to me was like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? What else? Do they show Terminus in the beginning of this episode? Is that where the orb thing is in the beginning? The what we can't find out is the vault. Yeah. That whole thing was like, that's weird, not what I expected. The part where they showed during the episode where they were showing some of the bureaucracy of and just so we're clear to the audience,
the whole thing where he becomes martyred, I just have to agree with you.
Yeah,
it's dumb.
I was like, are you fucking in it?
Yeah,
go ahead.
But no, it's okay. They're trying to establish an alternative storyline, which I don't find that compelling.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did think that showing some of the bureaucracy about the foundation itself, like are we gonna do base 10 because that's the imperial system, but like, do we care about base 12 or base 27, and arguments about that and what resources we dedicate. Did I find the training thing with the fake monsters to be interesting? Like I'll just be really brief and say the drastic change from the book to the show in that moment on September 24th is what really threw me off.
Yeah.
Separating that, I am more okay with it.
Yeah. I don't exactly know what. Yeah. I mean, I think I understand, but I'm not really clear why this thing with Rach is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who, anyway, Rachel's wife ends up saving Harry Seldon in the books. So she's a female security officer.
Is that in the prologue?
It's later in the books.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really understand. Like, Harry Seldon dies an old man, but I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to establish. I don't know. I'm not clear where it's going. I'm pretty far into it now, and I think, like you, I find myself drifting a little bit when I'm watching it, because now it's so completely divorced from a story that at this point, when we started this, I was not super familiar with Foundation. And now I've read many of the books. And so I'm like, why is this happening? Where are we going? There's also like just completely new stuff that I don't really understand what it's for. The Thespes is a invention. I don't know why that's necessary. What else? I guess that's it. I just don't exactly understand why this is necessary. Yeah. I'm also starting to have trouble with the warden, with that whole line. So there's just some weird shit going on.
Right. Right.
Which at first I was cool with, because I thought, okay, got to tell a big story, got to move fast. But now I'm not that cool.
Well, and imagine being someone who hasn't read the book and has no familiarity. It is like, whether just someone created this from whole cloth, or this is exactly what the book is like, because they haven't talked to anyone who's read the book. They're like, okay, like, I'm just taking what you're giving me, and there might be something here and there I don't like.
Yeah.
But like, cool, they're building this whole world. Like, they're showing, I don't know, episode 3 or 4, they're showing how the brother dawn, brother day, brother dusk cycle out, no idea. I don't know anything about it.
Well, they're trying to make that whole thing they're trying to make this central to the story. I don't know. I think I'm with you. I'm starting to really get frustrated with trying to figure out where they want to take this story, because it is now so fucking unfamiliar to me. So I'm okay with traveling a little bit. I'm okay with like blending characters to move the narrative. There's a bunch of things that I'm okay with, but I'm not. It's beautiful, but the differences are starting to overwhelm me, I would say.
Right. And well, and the question on my mind is, can not just you, but the third person can one divorce themselves from having read the book to just go, I'm reading what has been given to me as the story, and say, I'm just going along for the ride now? I think it's really tough once you've read words on paper, right? So like Daniel Green, he's a YouTuber I quite like. He did a lot of Wheel of Time coverage, book focused, obviously, because the show just was released. And
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna watch his video about the show because I know he's disappointed, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm
Right.
ignorant. Like I don't know the difference, so I'm just taking it for what it is, you know. So anyway, those are my takes. Do we want to start the episode?
Yeah. So should we talk about what we decided to do?
Yeah, sure.
We decided. So actually, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Given our decision to do watch throughs, that's our decision, right?
I mean, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, look at that showing up on camera.
What?
I got kissed by Shai Halud right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You sure? Want to snuggle? Do we want to start our watch throughs by beginning with episode 1? Wouldn't that be fun? Or would it be too lame to just be like, hey, here's episode 1 again?
I don't know. I think it would be okay. It's just time.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we going to start? Episode 3?
But yeah, here's a question. Did we satisfactorily cover episode 2? Good question.
Did we cover it at all?
Well,
I forgot.
We know that. So here's what happens in episode 2. We know, right? They show some training on the ship taking them to Terminus, which is going to take them 2 full years to get there, not the books. We show some bureaucracy where they do sort of a woke imperial history is white history. What about like the Aztec math? Isn't that valid? You know, like there was definitely a modern postmodern, whatever the hell. I'm not one of those people, but there was definitely a thing that was kind of highlighting the idea like not all history is sort of the macro culture history, and like is it valuable for this thing to conserve the wisdom of other smaller marginalized populations. That was modern, not in the books at all. And then there was the thing. Yeah, I guess we really didn't. I don't know. And then the emperor, one of the oldest emperor as an old man, allegedly prefers to seek peace or figure out a way to make something happen with Anacreon and Thespis. Meanwhile, the middle one, the adult male, was like, we got to kill these motherfuckers. So like, did that thing. So yeah, we're not really doing the episode justice. We should just watch it.
Should we? So
unless you don't want to, I don't know.
They're starting with 2?
Yeah,
let's watch it.
Okay, all right, let's start.
Yeah, all right. So hold on. That means let's start means Uncle Grandpa has to go. Is Apple TV? Oh, there it is, right in front of me.
Yeah,
I'm a dummy.
Hey,
Apple, we're gonna watch your show that we pay for, but we're not gonna let anyone hear or see any of that.
Whatever that needs to happen with that.
Yeah, whatever. Is that pretty good the way I said that?
Yeah. So
right, do we want to do I gotta
3?
get
Yeah, let me know when you're ready.
Give me a
3,
second.
2, 1.
I'm old, Mike.
I know. I am displaying patience by saying you just let me know when you're ready. Or does that come off as not patient?
Episode 8. We gotta go back. Preparing to live. That's the one, right?
Sometimes unrelated. Sometimes I just have these weird, I don't even know, I wouldn't call them nightmares because they definitely happen like in between wakingness and sleepingness, and like at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday. I watched the UFC YouTube channel has like the all of the body shot finishes in history, all of the standing. Hold
on.
Yeah.
All of the body shot finishes. Are you certain that you were watching the UFC channel?
Yeah, all the liver care. Yeah. I watched yesterday all of the standing choke finishes. And the wisdom is that when you think you're gonna slam the person to the canvas who's got you in that, you're actually just making the choke deeper.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking, I had this like weird kind of like thing of like, yeah, but not if you're on concrete. Like maybe if you're the one doing the choke, maybe that's not good for you if you are on concrete. I don't know. Those are just the things that invade my mind.
Yeah.
I mentioned this because yesterday I had something akin to a standing choke. And then I kind of kicked the back of his leg out under him, and then we ended up on our butts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite takedowns.
Yeah.
I like to go for the single, lift the leg, and then kick that other leg out.
Yep.
Or sometimes use my head, because you don't really have to kick that leg. It looks fancy.
Yeah.
But if you put your forehead in there,
Yeah.
in the crook of their shoulder here,
Mm-hmm.
you just drive that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
I was teaching snatch. I teach a stand-up class at 8 a.m.
on Wednesday.
Wednesday at 10th Planet HQ.
Yeah.
In case you want to learn how to throw people on the ground real hard. And I've been teaching the snatch single, the high single. And it's almost always for me transitions into that kind of takedown. In just sister talking about for a sec. There is a variation on that throw called the nose disappearing throw. And the nose disappearing throw is when you step through and you block the foot in the front. And rather than take them backward, you take them forward. And if you set it up right, they can't really prevent themselves from just eating a face full of concrete or mat. So it is called the nose disappearing throw. Good times. Okay, anyway, I didn't name it that, by the way. Our good friend and friend of the show, Tim Cartmel, named it the nose disappearing throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
you're supposed to give me more than when I give you extreme violence. You're supposed to go.
I love it. I Googled nose disappearing, and unfortunately, it has not made its way to Google.
It's not. No. Oh, you know what I'll do? I will make a video. A little Instagram of the nose disappearing throw, so we can link to it in the show notes later.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. I'll find some white belt who doesn't need a nose.
Yeah. While I was giving you the it's because I Googled nose disappearing throw and ended up on empty nose syndrome, when patients are left suffocating after routine nasal surgery, which is also its own horror show.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so now that we have diverted into violence, which always gets my attention.
Yeah.
I have lost the place where.
So we're at starting, right?
Yeah. So hold on. So
down. Yeah.
Wait. I'm not anywhere because I'm old. I'm old. I lost the window. Oh, here we go. Preparing to live. And then there was a viewing window. Where did that go? There it is. Okay, here it is. All right. So we're going to do like a countdown.
Yeah, I would say just to make sure we're starting at the exact right time. So are you ready?
My mouse is right on top of the thing.
Okay.
It's at 0:00.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay. I love it.
All right, here we are. Put closed captions on.
Closed captions on. Look at you go.
Why is English not? If you have drop downs for like where you're from or what language you want, and you don't have, are you going to skip recap?
Sure.
What?
Sure. Wait.
Well,
press pause.
Okay, I'm now at 27 seconds.
All right, you talk. I'm at 50 seconds now because when you said "are you," I thought you already had. So I'm at 50 seconds. 50.
I can't find English subtitles. What the fuck?
What? It's the top.
Okay, so I'm 41, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
looks like a spirally nebula.
Yep.
And what I can only imagine is a part of the female anatomy I have yet to discover.
I quite like this intro. I like the
Yeah.
animation. I like the
Did you
sound.
press play already?
Yeah. So I was
I
counting.
didn't.
I was counting
I didn't.
40
Yes, I
to
was waiting
50
for you
so
to
that when
say
you
go.
said you were at 50, you would hit start.
Mike, I love it.
So now I'm at 123.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah. Can we...
All right.
let me
so I'm gonna
so you pause. You're at
Okay.
123. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
to
that's
apologize.
why I was like 40, 41. 40.
Oh yeah.
So that when you heard 50, because you had just said you were at 50, you'd go.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense what you're saying. Also, you know, when you get to be in your 56s like I am now.
Yeah.
Because I recently had a birthday.
You
None
did.
of our fans said "fuck off, old man"
Yeah.
in our
guess that's
YouTube
good.
channel, which
I guess that's
no,
good.
I would have appreciated it.
Hmm.
But if you're keeping track, I am 56 years old, which in today's terms is nearly dead.
Yeah.
And Mike is a very young 27, I'm going to say.
You know, if I were where I'm at in life now at 27, I might not feel so shitty about myself.
You should feel very good about yourself. I would trade everything I've achieved for a quarter of your personage.
Oh, well, thank
When
you.
you're old, I saw this dude just real quick. I saw this dude, and he was a model when he was young, and his son was recreating all of his famous like surfery modeling pictures
Yeah.
that were done in like the 60s or 70s.
Right.
But that dude is still fucking good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you're good looking, you usually stay that way. You look like an angry chimp. Also, stay that way. All right, we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me when to press play.
Okay.
Count us
am
down.
at 127.
Wait, now I'm at 123. I'm such a
Okay,
fucking
so
moron.
hit play and count it.
I'm at 120. Oh, god dang it. This is hard. I can't get to 120. I'm at
No, just hit play and count 123, 24, 25, 26, 27.
whatever. I'm at 132 or something. I'm just
Okay.
going. I'm just going for it.
All right, cool. So I'm at one.
What could go
32 as
wrong
well.
if we're a few seconds off?
I don't know. Probably not much.
What does your thing say right now?
137. Yeah, gorgeous imagery here.
What does it
Great.
say now?
What?
What does it say now?
You're asking
What's
where
your
I'm
time?
at?
Yeah.
150.
Okay.
Gorgeous imagery. Great intro. Great music.
I would like for that hand to turn over and do that.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to figure something out where we're still looking at each other, but I'm watching this. Okay. How do I do that? Gallery. Because this is where our to the episode no one has seen yet, which is the second Dune watch through. I think I was hurting Jeff's feelings because I was like watching and I couldn't hear what he was saying.
It's okay.
How the fuck do
I did feel ignored, but that's the
'cause-
normal state of things. So I didn't really recognize it as something bad.
Yeah, I need to be able to see both what we're doing. Okay, is that works? Okay, there we go. I got it. I got something here.
All right. So I'm looking at a lot of dark with
Yeah.
blue. Oh, here we go. We're on
Okay.
this tiny planet.
Yeah.
This
So that's
lady
happening.
she's minority reporting very quickly.
So if you're me, you're a book reader and you're going, when is this? What is this?
Yeah. Oh. It's a lot of people being
And-
murdered.
Yeah. Kind of has like a G.I. Joe Cobra kind of thing
Mhm.
going on.
Oh, remind me to tell you the story of how I learned that I am part of Cobra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, here comes the
And-
AI.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah.
She's what, 400 years old?
Mhm. Ah. So we're in a biohacking facility.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got that affectation, right? Where she holds her abdomen,
Mm-hmm.
which reminds me, and I think is meant to be evocative of like Chinese courtesans back in the day where they would have their, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying she does like a certain posture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna while she's telling this woman how she's going to die and when to try to this is like the kind of torture that because torture doesn't work,
No.
but we love to believe it does.
Yep.
And we love to see some torture on a small scale. It's always exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just an example of AI who would know better torturing a person to try to get information.
Yeah, I was. So what's
You were
happening
what?
here? So these are Brother Dawn. So because we didn't do the watch through. What's the name of the AI?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Who cares?
Exactly.
So one of the things that's interesting. Okay, so that's the space bridge. That is now floating out in the atmosphere. And
yeah.
I don't remember if it was in episode 1 or 2. They were saying like there are still bodies in the atmosphere, and as they enter the atmosphere, they're burning up, and you can see them kind of crackling in the sky. And it's just it's naturally disturbing to the population to see their former fellow citizens like just, and they're like, oh, that's a person whose body is burning up.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
There was a show on HBO, I believe, Avenue 5 space show, where they accidentally eject a bunch of poop from this spaceship that's floating around, and then there are also some dead bodies that get ejected from the ship, and then it all ends up orbiting the ship. And that's what that scene reminded me of.
Oh, this was like, that comedy show.
Yeah, I don't know why they stopped it. It was pretty good, but I just think it didn't get watched enough. It was pretty funny though.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like all this poop gets ejected from the ship, and then it orbits the ship, and then there's also a bunch of dead bodies and corpses that end up. It's got very dark, but also very funny.
Yeah, I will say that HBO isn't necessarily always the best at making you aware that the show is out. I don't think they have the ad budget compared to like an Amazon. Like shows come out, and I'm shows that I watch regularly. The new season comes out, and it's like episode 3 or 4 is when I realize it's already started.
Yeah,
and it's because I heard it once, like a month before it was coming out, and then all right. So anyway, so Gail Dornick she likes to swim. She does math in her head. I think that is not just problem solving, but I think that's also, it's commented later in the show, that's actually sort of her way of dealing with trauma. Yeah, so there's a self-soothing.
Yeah,
she's cute. She is.
Yeah, she's very cute. Yeah,
very cute.
Yeah, even though I would still date her, even though her seer stones have been removed, which ordinarily would be an impediment for me.
You would prefer to have the seer stones in or out? I'd say in.
In.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, the risk to this love affair that won't be happening.
Yeah.
We're living on. So if I'm living on Waterworld.
Yeah.
I either get the cool catamaran.
Yeah.
And then I whisk her off.
Yeah.
And she keeps her seer stones because we can sell them later when we need to buy dirt.
Yeah.
I have it all thought out.
Yeah, what you bring up a really good point, because what you are talking about, we've established that she lives on Waterworld in episode 1, but I think you're also referencing something that happens later on in this show. I would love to know, did anyone possibly delay watching this show so that they could do this along with us? Or again, are we just late in the modern world of media, whatever, we needed to have this episode out like the day after the episode aired? Because I know that I listened to the Succession after show on Sunday night, right?
Yeah.
After Linda goes to bed, and I do my stretches listening to it. I know that other shows that I follow, like back when Game of Thrones was on and they were doing like the stuff after the show.
Yeah.
So they're glowing because they just had sex.
Yeah, they just
Good for them.
I think in the future they say boned up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boned up.
that's a modern, extreme futuristic way of saying we had
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got a really cool jacket that is very short on his torso,
Yeah,
almost like bullfighter length.
it's a very Michael Jackson look that we're
Yeah.
all adopting in the future.
Which is weird. 'cause
Captain EO.
I have this black vest that I bought on Etsy from someone from South Korea, and it's my Ren Fair vest, and it is too short on my torso. It's a little weird.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they're making out in the hallway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Just can't stay away from each other.
I wonder if it's because they're on the ship and they just had the shit they brought with them. Maybe he got that jacket from an 11-year-old kid who, you know,
real quick. So they were just
wasn't cold.
Yeah, they were just up close and they were kissing.
Yeah,
and as guys who do BJJ, we are around people's breath a lot. My take on breath is there are 3 options.
Yeah.
Minty fresh, pepperoni, which is I think the default breath smell, and then there is a third rail that is horse manure. And most people's breath to me smells like pepperoni. That's the natural mouth smell of men, women, everyone across the world. Anyone I've ever kissed has breath that smells like pepperoni, which is not bad. It's not good. It's just neutral. That's the baseline smell of breath in my experience, is sort of pepperoni like. And it's always been curious to me how that is. But there is a third rail.
Oh yeah.
That is horse manure.
Yeah, or cat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly. Oh, here comes the monster, by the way.
Yep. So
boom, blows up the universe. Everybody's dead.
So I'm watching this the night this premieres, and I'm going, there are fucking, and I'm, whatever. I take things at face value.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no fucking monsters in this story. And then training simulation. Kind of cool. I'll be honest. The only thing I think I really didn't like about this episode was that they killed Harry Seldon at the end. I think, and it's not that I like Harry Seldon so much as I was like,
with a timeline this long, why hasten his death?
Yeah.
That actor must have been like, hey.
Right, because on IMDb, it's like
I was going to make some money. Yeah.
Yeah, like in IMDb, he's in all 8 episodes. And it's like, if you're going to do a thing where he's on the ship for 2 years, I thought that was to build up his character so that instead of him being part of book 1 and then departing and being, pardon the pun, but the foundation of the foundation, I thought it was a way to cement the viewers sort of like Seldon is like a super important Ned Stark, like, right? The main character of season 1, right? That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
By the way, Jared Harris, in my mind, this is going to be a deep cut. Jared Harris and Alex Posel, formerly of 10th Planet HQ, are the same guy to me.
I'm with you.
Alex Posel, who's now in a psychiatric residency in Brooklyn, New York, formerly.
Should we spring him?
What? I get your joke.
Yeah,
I get your joke.
Yeah, because Alex Posel is crazy.
He is
Alex Posel is a sadist at jiu-jitsu. Yes. Oh, yes. So I wonder what he's going to be like as a therapist.
What did he do that was sadistic in your roles?
He just liked to hurt people. Yeah. As any good 10th Planet HQ person. Posel, he's the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Blonde. Wears socks a lot. Wears socks. Young, good-looking blonde kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Him and I ended up in the latter era of our rolling into very stalemate-ish stuff. So I think maybe we needed to change it up. Maybe I needed to risk possibly being tapped a bit more, because we just ended up in this constant cycle of he could escape my leg attacks, and then I would get to side control, and I would be going for Darce. And then
Yeah.
he has the inversion skill that I don't have,
Mhm.
and he would invert, and then I wouldn't get anything, and then we'd be back to neutral, and then I'd pull him into lockdown, and then I would sweep him, and it would just on and on with no one ever
Yeah.
really doing anything other than like if we were doing points, we would both just be racking them up, and who
Yeah.
knows where it would have ended at 8 minutes.
That's the real kind of issue with gym training.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will eventually figure out people's preferences, and those preferences will emerge in response to your perceived win-loss ratio. And
Yeah.
then you can end
With
up in these
with your
little,
local peers. Yeah.
yeah, and you end up in these little, I call them the death spiral, because your jujitsu doesn't improve. You just are running through the same kind of dead end motions. And the reason it's bad for your jujitsu is it might convince you that you're doing something incorrectly or that your default responses aren't good, but in fact they are.
Yeah.
But you really need to work on finishing your Darce, not meeting the best possible resistance to it. So you got to run that same, when you run into that, you just got to run your same game on someone with less technical skill.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay, here
then-
come these two morons.
Yeah.
Why are they morons? Because why would you go? If I was summoned to this party, I'd be like, I'm getting a haircut.
You mean this specific meeting or the planet?
Yeah,
at
this
all?
specific meeting.
Yeah.
The emperor would like to see me. I would love to. Also, Manny Petty at that same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are going to get fucked up. Look at that little kid.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. He's going to turn out to be weird.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait. He turns out to be weird,
That little kid?
or the one who becomes the little kid after him?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, I think you're talking about.
I think I'm talking about this little kid.
No, I think you're talking about the next one.
Mike.
Because they jump 17 years into the
Oh, that's true.
where that boy, or maybe it's even longer, 30, should be 33. There's no way this guy's 25 years old. Who is she? I'm trying to I need to.
Oh, the actress who is
Yeah,
the
I
robot?
recognize her from something else, but I couldn't find her.
She looks a little bit like Mae Musk.
Who?
Elon Musk's mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Demerzel apparently is the AI.
Yes.
Demerzel?
Yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced? Demerzel?
I can't hear you anymore.
You can't hear me
Oh, I
anymore?
can't. Yeah. Well, you were just were you just
I think
doing
was-
a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't talking. I'll say that.
Yeah. My wife has started talking to me like this. So a lot of our conversations are at
Really?
this volume level, and then it's very hard for me to hear what she's saying. Mm-hmm.
That's like a new thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Any idea why?
Because I'm loud.
Trying to keep life interesting.
Yes. I'm gonna go with that. And luckily she does not listen to this, so I can say anything I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a true fact. I think sometimes she's trying to prevent
signal.
Alzheimer's from getting me.
She's trying to create
Yeah.
what's the word for it?
So can we talk about this really quick? So
Yeah, sure.
what he's doing, even the tool that he's using, this is how the Tibetans do the sand mandalas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it pronounced mandalas?
Mandala.
Mandala. Yeah.
Mandala. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was at the University of Dayton years ago, some monks came and did that. They spent like a week or two on it, and then as far as I understand, you get it to where it's so-called perfect, and then you immediately just like.
Not immediately.
something. Yeah.
But yes,
It
so
was like
when
a couple
we,
that it might have been.
I'm a Buddhist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe other people don't. So, because I seem so willing to attack people's necks and stuff. But we hosted, when I say we, I mean the center that I spend my time doing Buddhisty things at.
How often do you go there and when? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
I don't go there as much as I used to. I used to go all the time, like all week long. Now less so. After Geshe died, I don't go back there very often. But I do keep in touch with some of the monks and of course my friends. But anyway, let me get to the story.
Sorry.
My teacher, or better to say my teacher's teacher.
Okay.
My teachers, that's multiple.
Okay.
That's okay.
Can we pause?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I accidentally paused.
I don't think.
I'm at 1903. I must accidentally hit my space bar.
Okay.
But yeah, we can pause for 1 second.
Okay,
So this is why this is so just along with what you were saying. So the center, we've hosted the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, here for like speaking engagements and other kinds of interactions. He and Geshe were close friends. So when sort of my teacher and the teacher of my teachers, when he came to the West from Tibet, he came with the Dalai Lama. So they fled together.
Mm-hmm.
And Geshe they went to India, and then from India, Geshe took a bunch of orphans and they went to London, and he opened up a school and did all the things to care for those kids.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, they were in the diaspora. They didn't know what was going to happen. So Geshe just became a regular dude for a while. Mm-hmm. Got married, had a son, living in London, right? And then at some point, things got reestablished. And I like to think this is how it went. I'm sure I've got it completely wrong, but the Dalai Lama rang him up, was like, "Hey, what you doing?" He's all, "Oh, I'm living in London. It's pretty awesome. My hair's long. Mm-hmm. I'm married, got a kid, they're doing all sorts of cool stuff. Those kids are all taken care of. Everything's great. How about you?" He said, "Well, I'm still the Dalai Lama and you're still a monk. So I got to need you to put those robes back on and meet me in LA." And Geshe was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I am still a monk." So anyway, I guess he and his wife discussed it, and he decided to take back his robes, and that's what he did. So it's a long story.
To be married, or that's just like, did he have to divorce her?
Oh yeah, no, he went back to being a monk, so he went back to being a monk. Yeah. It is contrary to maybe popular opinion. You can make the choice to leave, and you're not like ostracized. So if a priest leaves the priesthood, sometimes people treat him all weird, but when a monk leaves, so there's it's like Thupten Jinpa, who has been His Holiness's translator for a long time. He was a monk, and then one day was like, "I think I want to get married," and so he gave up his robes. But he remains to this day the Dalai Lama's translator, his favorite translator. And His Holiness makes fun of him sometimes in the talks. It makes fun of the whole situation. And he did the same thing with Geshe. So sometimes he called him a naughty monk. So he just would make fun, but generally okay with it. But I guess Geshe talked to his family. Geshe is an honorific, by the way. So he is a Geshe. That's like a degree. It's 20 plus years of study. And then you have these tests that you go through, and he passed all those tests. So it's like a PhD in divinity studies.
In monking it up.
Monking it up. Yeah. So it's an honorific, and then the law at the end is both respect and admiration.
So I think where this was going was they did a mandala and
They did. So His Holiness came and gave a bunch of public and private talks and did some Buddhist-y things that we needed to do. And part of that thing was the monks from the monastery that's associated with the monastery here. So there's a monastery in India, and then there's a small branch of that monastery here in Long Beach, and they kind of coordinate. And so monks come from there and they go on tour all through the US. And these monks do the sand mandalas. And so they did this great big one, and it took forever. It's very complicated because they are literally tapping out minuscule grains of sand at a time. And they're very complex. So then when it was done, His Holiness just literally cut, there's a procession, a small ceremony, and then he just drags his hand through it, wiped it away.
yeah.
Then they gather up all the materials, they give some to the people who are present, and then they return most of the sand to the sea. It's like a whole little circle of yeah. But these are suspended.
So all right, we
vertically. Gotta hit play. Sorry, that was too long of a story.
No, I think it's okay. Other than
it's painful to watch, right?
Yeah.
When they strike it.
Yeah, because you
I didn't even do it, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, you want to feel like, oh, it's so nice. It's there's some permanence to it. Frame it, keep it on a wall. And obviously the Buddhist thing is the idea of like, don't get attached to it.
Nope.
It's fleeting.
Yeah. What by the way, what time are you at?
2008. Where are you?
2010, 2011, 2012.
So she's now talking to the ginger about something.
Yeah. Hello, Ginger.
Cute Gail Dornick's always in like skimpy stuff too.
Yeah.
Always just kind of walking around all live. I think that's the term.
Yep.
She has a live body.
Yeah. And my business partner would call her a smoke show. That's okay. That's what the young kids say nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rach is just always leching on her. He's just wherever she goes, he's like in some corner trying to play grab ass, which is how it is when you're young and in love. Remember?
Young and horny.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing.
Oh, Gail Dornick gets burned. Hopefully we won't irradiate all 3 levels. Basically saying you suck at video games.
Yeah.
Whoa! What are you doing, Mike?
Something just fell off my desk.
Poltergeist?
So what's the deal? She's pregnant.
Oh yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yeah.
I had to be honest, I can't. Is the idea that she's like, fuck it?
She is saying
being
fuck it.
Encouraged to have an abortion, or is she? Yeah.
They're saying it's bananas to have a baby, given that they're on the ship and then they're gonna land and everything's all fucking unknown and hardly anyone's gonna survive.
Well, and so later on,
they're yelling.
Yeah, dramatic acting.
Mm-hmm.
And then later she chooses to drink wine, and it looks like Gail's like frustrated that she's drinking wine. So I don't know. I just, maybe the writing isn't very good. I just don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah, I didn't when she drinks the wine, I'm like, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
And isn't this speech like it's so important to me to have a baby?
Yeah.
Maybe it was important to her to have a baby with a massive head.
Maybe that's her signaling that she's giving up on the pregnancy. That's one of the sacrifices being made, is like, fuck it. Like I already got the abortion. Pass me the wine. Something like that. I mean, to me, well, because Gail looks disapproving when she passes her the wine, as if you're still pregnant, you shouldn't be drinking wine.
Right.
It's kind of muddled.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
One
what's
of the
going on.
things with this AI girl is she seems like she obviously serves as sort of counselor for all of them, but it
Yeah.
seems like she's ultimately Brother Dusk's caretaker. Seems like
Yeah.
she mostly
Everything okay down there?
yeah. So like I said before we started recording, I got these essential oils that I've replaced deodorant. So I have like all these different scents to choose from, and I'm just kind of checking in on today's.
I love
mean, this
that.
is just straight aged patchouli,
Mm.
not terribly exotic compared to
You're
the other
headed
ones.
you're headed firmly into hippie territory, my friend.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
There's nothing worse than a disapproving fucking robot. It's imagine in the future when you try to use some cheap coffee and your fucking coffee maker rolls its
Yeah.
eyes at you.
yeah,
I don't want my equipment judging me.
yeah,
Or like imagine your keyboard laughing at you because you're a slow typer.
yeah, yeah. So this is cool. Where are they now? Are they in like the slums? Is this just in the blast area? Like he's kind of
Yes.
down. He's down at ground zero.
Ground zero.
Yeah. And
The
then,
scar, they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned there's one temple for the religion that is where Gale's from, and this is
it. Yeah. They don't like technology.
Yeah, they're Luddites,
No,
which,
they
as
are,
we
yeah.
discussed in the episode 1, having a person or an entire culture that
Mhm.
happens to be actresses or actors of color being sort of exotic and sort of different. It's a little marginalizing.
Yeah.
It's a little continuing the portrayal of sort of mystical and backward and
Oh,
sort of
100%.
yeah.
100%.
I mean, it's cool, but it's also
these dudes are white. And who are the backward non-science believers?
yeah,
They're the black and brown people.
tribal.
Gail
people of color.
Dornick is like the one.
Yeah.
It's fucking, I mean, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why people can't read these scripts and go like, oh, are we doing this again?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do like
Also, why are we as white people so hungry for this bullshit?
Right. Shout out to the Wheel of Time. Well, Wheel of Time is super diverse as it is. And I've already talked about the idea that if you have a village of people of different races, you need some sort of a story in my mind to make it like, when did they all arrive there?
Yeah.
Did they arrive from different places? What's the deal? But anyway, yeah.
Any D&D tavern, it's going to be full of different people.
Right.
If you're in the Star Wars universe, listening to that jizz music in the cantina.
Right.
You know that's what it's called, right?
Yeah. So
doesn't that make you mad?
I don't care about anything.
It makes me angry every time I think about it.
Yeah.
Jizz music.
Did people not call it jizz, like as in like semen? Was that not the term? Is that new?
No, that's not a new term.
Not new?
Not new.
Yeah.
Whoever decided to call the cantina music jizz music is just a dick. Just an asshole.
I was not familiar with when our Supreme Court guy, when they were going through his journal,
mm-hmm.
and they were okay, hold on, let's just pause here. So what is this thing?
Wait, hold on. I didn't pause yet.
No,
Where
let's
are you?
not pause. No, let's not pause.
Whoa, you said pause. Whoa.
No, I did say pause.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't mean pause the show. I meant let's look at this fucking thing.
It's data visualization tooling.
Yeah, I'm so far behind. I was on the flight to Tucson. The girl next to me had her tablet out and she was doing all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I think that would just make me mad. I think I would like be clumsy with it, and then I would just start getting annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do any of that stuff? Do you ever use something
He's
where
g-
you're like moving windows with your finger and then this and shrinking things. I'm not adept at that stuff.
Was she on an iPad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
she was like doing stuff. And I was like,
Look, computers should not be a form of an additional form of exercise. They're supposed to liberate us from toil, not create it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
found that to be.
I don't want to be waving my arms around in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the opposite of what I want.
Yeah, I just wanted to connect to my brain so I can start typing things out with my mind and then knowing commands to where there's
I love that you have to type in your mind.
off the record, on the
Picturing,
record.
picturing those two fingers doing this.
No,
And
I'm
then,
just thinking
voila!
like my thoughts being dictated out and then
I
being
know
like,
what you meant. I was just making
stop.
fun.
delete, go
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
mouse over to here.
Enhance, computer enhance, enhance.
Yeah.
Enhance, damn yo.
She's swimming.
That's what I want to do. Yeah. Harry Seldon's got his augmented reality glasses, so he's superimposed some porn babe's body on Gale. It's all,
Yeah.
"Arr, arr." That's how that works in the future. Thank you, Google. See, this is what my wife is doing too.
She's trying to model.
He's talking. He's like, why is he talking like that? Why don't you just use your regular fucking voice, Harry Seldon?
She's trying. She's
Is it
tr-
the
she's
dramatic
trying to-
whisper?
she's trying to model. Here's how you should respond to me.
Mike, it's the dramatic whisper. Here he goes again. He'll go back to old man yelling in 2 seconds, but right now, it's the dramatic whisper.
Yeah, but just because he's English.
No, because he goes back and forth between old man yelling and ha ha! He did it again.
I think we're off on our times.
What time do you have?
30:25.
Yeah, I'm a little behind you.
Okay, so who needs to pause?
Nobody. I'll just. Where are you at now?
Fuck, I just hit the wrong button. So now I'm. God damn it. 30:32.
I'm at 37 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're pretty close. All right. So they're
Yeah.
walking downstairs.
Yeah.
They're doing a thing.
Yeah. The math's not complete.
Yeah. I struggled on first watch as understanding why this is so troubling. Like, look at how big his eyes are, right?
Oh, yeah.
What? It's not all worked out.
Okay, hold on. You know what I want to know?
What?
Explain that guy's hairdo to me.
The
It makes me so
know.
mad.
blonde guy?
Oh my God, I can't.
I don't
It makes
even
me
know.
so mad. What is he doing? He looks like he's a wet poodle. Like
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Yeah.
Is that the future?
Yeah.
Maybe in this future, blonde people have been really assholes, and so they're forced to have
Future-
really
it's like
shitty
future-
haircuts.
It's like weird future hair.
Yeah, or like he used to get a good perm when he was on Trantor, but now they're on the ship and he can't get all the perm chemicals he needs.
It's like the episode of Seinfeld where they got the low flow shower heads and Kramer's hair ended up all like flat. We're gonna put that in the show notes.
God, what is wrong with this guy? Look around you, bro. No one elected for shitty perm but you.
So she's doing.
I couldn't take a word he had to say seriously. It's probably why.
Okay, this is the moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's literally saying you're racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all know my critical race theory has no place in an Apple TV
None.
adaptation of.
None.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this reminds me of I've heard talk that the SATs. I haven't taken the SATs in quite a long time, obviously, but that the SATs are racist because they'll do analogies with stuff like capicola is to trying to think. Capicola is to another cured meat, right? As asparagus is to something. And the argument is that people they don't really talk about how white people in Appalachia probably don't know what prosciutto is either. But generally the idea is that the children of color in Baltimore are going to see that and go, I don't know what capicola is or prosciutto is. Yeah, capicola.
It's the sieve is not aiming to be precise. It's aiming to exclude the largest number possible.
Right.
With the acknowledgement that some people will get through. Look, this is the accusation of racism actually stems from the voter tests that they used to administer,
right?
Which were worded in ways that are coded specifically in a way that made it next to impossible to answer correctly.
Yeah,
it's a real thing, and so that whole base 10 versus base something else argument, it's like, it's good math banter, but yeah, essentially what they're saying is what she's saying is you need to open your mind a little bit to
basically, just
go ahead.
She's basically saying, like, in the sense that the empire, let's view this as an analogy that the empire is essentially white supremacist. The idea is she's saying, like, knowledge that isn't just white knowledge matters. Like we shouldn't just be preserving the white knowledge of the empire.
Right.
Yeah. This is cool.
Look, do you want to know something? I find this very interesting on that subject. So, we were very late. The West, the European West, was very late in its ability to deal with smallpox deaths. Whereas in Africa and Asia, they were practicing inoculation for hundreds, maybe close to 1,000 years. So they recognized the dangers of smallpox. Like 30% of the people that contracted it died. If you didn't die, you were still like radically disfigured from the right. So they did what's called inoculation. They took matter from the person who had it. They ground it up into powder or paste, blew it up your nose, poked it into your skin to produce like a small, because they knew that if you survived, you could never get it again.
Right.
So we refused inoculation in the West because what do those Africans or what do those Asians know? These are backward people.
Right.
So there are situations where this idea of we should be preserving knowledge from outside the white realm could literally have saved millions and millions of lives historically.
Yeah.
We didn't get to, and then of course, because we didn't get to inoculation, we didn't get to vaccination until very late. Thanks. And even then, as now, you had a lot of people who wanted to claim that vaccination was somehow actually bad for you. They preferred the risk of death, the risk of the, anyway, it's bananas.
Yeah.
So it is, I think it's an important thing to say. It's not just about color. It's about diversity of thought. It's about what exists in the common discourse. So the more diverse the common discourse, the more we have to bring reasoning, the more you need reason.
Right.
The more valid the Enlightenment kinds of ideals become. But because we insist on this pruning those ideas out or keeping them out, we ruin our own enlightenment. I think it's probably a better argument than the racism argument, meaning if you frame it as, look, the value of reason is so strong, and reason is supported, your ability to use reason, your ability to think clearly is enhanced by diversity, not diminished,
Right.
then you seek more information, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know if we're talking about an argument between us or in terms of the out
No,
there in
the base
discourse.
10, the base whatever. I'm just referring to that
Oh
whole
yeah.
conversation.
It is in our modern world, it is racially codified.
Yeah.
So I was just using racist as shorthand of.
Yeah. I know what I agree with you. I think we were okay. Would you
So-
drink anything that was poured to you by these dudes?
I mean, it looks like raspberry vinaigrette, so I don't know.
Doesn't look like what he's
wine.
drinking. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like the wine he's drinking.
I also would be.
Wait, wasn't he pouring red wine a second ago? She got white.
She got white, yeah.
He's got some kind of. He's got
like
red.
rosé.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait,
I really don't.
are you watching what I'm watching? The color of that goddamn wine keeps changing. His is red.
Yeah, I think everyone has their own.
His is red now.
Yeah.
This stuff makes me mad.
It could be a continuity error.
No, so since I've embraced QAnon, I now am aware of the time slippages that occur.
Wait, what?
Since I've now embraced the QAnon philosophy,
Yeah.
I'm aware of what's called a time slippage. So
Uh-huh.
it's not that someone is making a mistake. It's that parallel universes are crisscrossing.
Uh-huh. All right. I can't follow you on this journey. I would say probably a continuity error in the filmmaking is that they did this over the course of 2 days. Yeah. I also don't like that those glasses, that the base of them are less wide than the mouth.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me.
It's an accident waiting to happen, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have your wine stand, the base of your wine glass has to be as wide as the.
Has to be. In the future, we make very wobbly.
It's best practices. If you're interested in people not having wine glasses that break and then immediately come to you saying you're fucking bullshit, bro.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I was trying to support you.
But... I know.
Yeah, no, in the future, we make very wobbly shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe rich people make wobbly shit because who cares?
Right. It's aesthetically pleasing to have no base and just the stem.
And broken glass all around because then people have to come clean it up.
Yeah. So she's got those interesting cheek scarification. That's a thing. That's something out of Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene, I mean, what does this scene mean? It's just the old man would prefer find a peaceful solution, right? That's pretty much.
Yeah, it's more threats of we're gonna fuck you up.
Uh-oh. Foreshadowing.
Yep. Also, the old guy's being watched in the same way that the young guy's being watched, which kind of gives the impression that the middle brother, brother muscles.
Middle brother is essentially the compromised version of.
It's brother leader. Dishwashing liquid, brother muscles. No, wait. And what's the oldest brother called?
Brother Dawn, brother Day, brother Dusk.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
This guy's visiting the laundry room.
Talk in your dramatic whisper. I did it again. Nope, they're in regular voice. Oh, regular voice. See, look. When he shifts to his dramatic whisper, I'm going to get mad.
No, doing a little speech here on the ground with the workers.
Speechifying. Let me tell you, there is nothing my team loves more than when I interrupt their workday to make a great big motivational speech.
Yeah? Do they love it?
Hey, everybody. Stop typing. This old white man's got shit to say. Yeah, they love it.
How much do your people
Mike,
meet in person? Are there starting to more, or does it?
No,
Everyone's remote.
Yeah. We've always been remote though.
Yeah.
We at our height of in-person meeting, it was just once a week.
Yeah.
They don't like when I speechify for any reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be absolutely clear. Oh, he did it! Dramatic whisper.
I see your boy Jason De La Rosa liking comments in our Decode Dune Facebook group.
Yeah, he's a good guy, I think. Colorado J on GitHub if you want to learn how he does his codings.
Wait, what?
His name is Colorado J on GitHub. This guy also has a terrible haircut,
Who?
but
Hold
the
on.
guy who just shook, he had like
I
he had,
missed it.
he
I
had
don't
like
think I'm
shitty
going
bangs.
for it. Oh,
It's a lot of bad haircuts in the future.
bad haircuts. Women seem to largely have hair that is pretty typical.
A lot of, well, I don't know.
This
There's a
scene,
lot of,
this scene again. This was me. This episode kind of sucks. I'm just kind of.
who are the cool kids in the lunchroom? Let's find out. Is this just not high school?
Yeah.
What was the show? Geeks and Freaks.
Freaks and Geeks was
Freaks and
a
Geeks.
show. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's a high school show. Is that what that was? High school?
I don't know. Yeah.
The wine. Give me the wine. Here's your favorite scene.
Yeah.
I got to wash this Quaalude down.
See what? Yeah. Like, is that a? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Can I sit at the cool kids table? Everyone's all fuck.
Like, why this he's like calling him. I mean, I feel like he's calling him out. I mean, wait, hold on, now that I think about it. Okay, should we do a spoiler?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 episodes in the future,
That fucking hair. Sorry.
3 episodes in the future, we find out that even though Rach, I guess is his name, Rach, Stabby Selden,
Yeah.
they have a conversation where he's like, you have to do it. I have to die, and you have to be the one to do it. Don't tell Gail Dornick that we set this up. Don't let her know about it. And of course,
Big secret.
She does, of course, find out about it in this episode. But now that I'm thinking about it, was this weird scene to make it seem like he is just kind of hazing this guy in front of everyone, which would make him angry to stab him? Is that what this fucking scene is? Because even still,
I guess.
I just did some gymnastics for this show's writing. It checks out if that's what this scene is, but like it's not very clear and not very good. It's just weird. This whole thing's fucking.
It is weird. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird.
Ooh, tension. Harry Seldon doesn't have a good. He's not very good at socializing. Doesn't seem to know how to read the room. Okay. This is weird, right? Oh, like what's the term that you use, Jeff, in your coaching? High functioning asshole or something? Like, whoa. I'm Harry Seldon. I know everything other than the social norms of not sitting down at dinner and just immediately being like, so your dad was a fucking drunk. Let's talk about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's talk about that in front of everyone real quick.
High performing asshole.
But I'm actually now thinking about it, and I think that was maybe fugazi to, like, they talked about it ahead of time as well. Hey, I'm going to do a thing and I'm going to make you look bad in front of everyone. And that's going to make everyone remember. Oh, never mind. I'm just doing a lot of work for this show right now. I'm burning calories.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of work on their behalf here. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
They're gonna do it again.
Doing sex.
These young kids, they're gonna do the things.
Don't turn around.
Do. Sorry.
This is. I wish we could watch these at like a little bit at like 1.5 speed, the same as I listen to most podcasts. This is taking a long time.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna notice that I'm always happier to cover books than shows, especially if I watch the show long before we talk
Yeah.
about it. Because
This is the part where I would have switched to my phone.
Yeah.
I'd be looking at jujitsu shit right now, waiting
Yeah.
for them to bone.
Yeah.
Just
Woo!
TikTok. They could have just stripped.
Sorry, audience. Are you still with us? We really need some feedback. Should we be doing this? Or should we actually
Like
watch
it's a
these?
like it's a moral imperative. Yes,
Yeah.
we not only should we ought to do
must. Should we just watch the episodes, give a tight 20 and maybe fit 2 episodes into one 40-minute episode? And then
I'll give you a tight 20. He's about to give her a tight 20.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Yeah. This part's cool. I respect it. Oh, they're inside the whole time. Of course, where else would they be?
It's like he put that he picked up the needle and put it back to the beginning of that Barry White song that she likes. Still taking too long though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that's because I could just, I shouldn't say kids nowadays can just get to Pornhub in like 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
So all the romance is gone.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it'd be like with the more their society is computer aided, the more optimal we get. Yada yada yada.
Where are they actually? They're in like a home theater, like just on some pillows, just some beanbag chairs.
Yeah, I think they're probably in some public commons.
Yeah. Place to watch fake sunset.
Oh, here we go. Ascending dawn.
Oh.
Is one with giant bushy eyebrows. Oh, hey.
Alpha eyebrows.
Yeah. you also have the alpha eyebrows. I have the waning eyebrows, as we know, of a aged chimpanzee.
Up.
Oopsie.
He's got a tactical robe.
Yep, as you would. If you spend any time in Seattle, you'll see this dude wandering around in his utilikilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
The utility kilt?
Yeah.
Or the prevalence of them in Seattle.
Well, that's where they're, yeah. I used to work right by the store.
Yeah.
So my version of Seattle.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Pioneer Square. Get your utilikilt here. Oh.
The pain.
Why would his plate fail to cover his spine?
I don't know.
It's so dumb. I'm okay with wearing a dress
Also,
into
like,
battle. That part I'm
I
okay
feel
with,
like,
but
I don't know, futurist. I would think that in this future world, he might have shaved armpits.
oh, that's a great thing to talk about.
Yeah,
So
he's got some pit hair.
yeah. Well, only so like in Egypt and back in the day,
Yeah.
one of the things that made Cleopatra so beautiful was her crazy long pubes, which attendants had to comb and braid and do whatever. And that's largely because only rich people could afford to have long hair and to keep pubic hair and armpit hair.
Right. Anyone else would be infested with lice.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Right. But I still think in this case, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I get it.
I'm with you.
No. And then there's this thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bingo bango.
all right. Yeah. So if you're watching, I assume you're either like listening to this in traffic, like recognizing that you
Like, what are these guys
episode.
watching?
Yeah. So they're hanging the Thespis, entourage or whatever you want to call them, diplomats. And
Thespis guys and the
Anacreons.
Anacreons.
Yeah, they're hanging them old school style.
Yeah.
This is very like 12.
While the two diplomats and everybody else are watching kind of a 3D visualization of both worlds getting the shit bombed out of them.
Yeah, and this is a neck breaking style of hanging. This is not a you're not going to die of asphyxiation.
Right.
Which
is weird, but you'd think he'd want to make a bigger spectacle of it, but yeah. Yeah,
there are two for those of you not hip to torture. There are two forms of hangings. One is where you drop and your neck breaks and you die instantaneously, essentially. And the other is where maybe there's just a small stool underneath you, like just like a very almost non-existent drop, and that's where the lack of force just has it so that you are actually getting choked to death by the rope.
Now he sends both of the diplomats back to their home worlds.
Oh, he sends he kills their homies.
Yeah. This is like this is sort of America post 9/11.
Yeah, definitely a lot of those vibes here that we've already discussed apparently were necessary. Not at all in the books.
Not and not really necessary or germane to the plot. They seem to this seems to try to accelerate the tension, but it's seldom predicted this would happen over a long period of time. Anyway. Yeah, it's weird. How often do we choose this is what Ascending Dawn asks, and Robot Lady says you always do.
What? I thought she said you don't often.
Oh. What did she say? Hang on.
I thought she said not much.
No, she says you always do.
Oh.
He says, how often do we choose this? And she says, you always do.
Oh, I didn't hear that way. All right.
5640. Just go back real quick. It's worth listening to.
All right, fine. Just adding to our life. I'll take your word for it.
Where are you now?
57:51. She's doing her PTSD thing in the pool and recognized something was wrong. Not exactly her how she does that, other than whatever.
She counts prime numbers and swims laps.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She must have a lot of trauma because she's almost constantly doing that.
Well, her family disowned her. Her whole society wanted to murder her.
Yeah.
She escaped, and like 2 days later, she ends up an enemy of the kingdom.
Yeah.
And now she's on a fucking ship, sending her to God knows goddamn where.
And she walks in on her man who she's.
Hey! Rish, what are you doing?
Like, no, like, yeah. This is the moment where I think we recovered from this, but in the so my wife felt that I blew her off when
Oh yeah.
when we finished Dune.
Yeah.
And I did. There's no there's no denying that. I did not do a very good job of handling the idea that you bring someone to a thing and then they want to talk about it and you're like, nah, not the best. I'm
Not
pretty
the
sure
best.
we recovered from this,
Yeah.
but this episode ends and she's like, this
So-
is pretty cool. And I'm like, this is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should continue
That's-
watching this.
Oh boy. Yeah. So Raish has apparently stabbed what's his fuck? Harry Seldon.
Yeah.
And Gale
Stabby,
is now being shoved into an escape pod, it looks like.
Uh-huh.
And he threw the knife in there with her.
And is that like oxygenated goo water that like
Yeah,
get in your
oxygenated
lungs, but
goo water.
You don't drown or something?
Yeah, that can't be easy, by the way.
Yeah.
Putting anything into your lungs, any fluid,
I
is going to
imagine
be
you
a
would
fucking
basically
nightmare.
you would reject it until you drown,
Yeah.
and then your body would recognize that there's actually oxygen in there. So be a traumatic way to.
Then he flushed her down the toilet.
Yeah, she's in a pod. What did he take? He took the thing behind her ear. Is that like a tracking device?
Yeah, or
Or behind
communication
Selden's
device.
ear.
Behind Selden's ear.
Yeah, it was behind Selden's ear. He took that.
And he
And
just
then
threw her.
and she went with the the whatchamacallit. The fuck am I talking about?
I don't know.
The knife, the murder weapon is
The
actually
murder weapon.
in
Yeah.
the thing with her.
Yeah, exactly. Now he looks pretty bummed.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you're going to be outside the ship in no time. Such a dumb thing to do, like completely unnecessary too.
Yeah.
If separating her from the rest of the ship was important, that could have just been part of the plan. Why all the weird subterfuge? Oh, right. She interrupted the plan. Because that's the thing they keep going on about. You can't account for an individual human.
Right.
This is also like, this is very American.
What is?
Everything could be known, but we just love our individuality so much we can't be separated from it.
Yeah. Okay. So.
All right.
All right. So that was the end of episode 2. So
Yeah.
we are going to call it an episode there.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it. As it goes, whether you like these episodes or not, you're getting another 2 of them, or at least another 1 of them, because we're about to record another episode, which is episode 3.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for that.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
And you don't complain.
You don't complain. The what is it? The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Mhm.
But Decode Dune. Actually, maybe I'll even post it on the group right now and just kind of get a feeling of like, do people like this or not? Our download numbers indicate that.
You're very, very self-conscious about this.
I
didn't realize you needed so much affirmation from others.
I don't think it's a self thing.
I'm questioning your alphaness.
No, I think I I don't think we're doing this right. I think if we want to have a chance, I think we ought to have recorded these episodes immediately we are not, I don't think, being as effective in the modern marketplace of these types of shows in terms of covering media. We've already talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that what we want? Like we could have slick production values,
Yeah.
but don't we just like kind of raw, dumb honesty?
No, I think the production stuff, that's fine. I don't care about getting like an overlay from whatever. I think I'm mostly talking about the time to market and the idea of, I think we ought, so to answer, so this is great question, because I think there's like a more of a foundation, not pun not intended, a foundational question of like, what are we trying to do? And my opinion is, I think we ought to be trying to be more in the, especially with covering the movies and the shows. I think we ought to be more specifically in the marketplace, the way it works kind of on YouTube. And I don't think we're doing a great job of that. I think in terms of the books, you tune in, I'm listening to 10 Very Big Books. It's a podcast that covers the Malazan series.
Yeah.
The episodes that I'm listening to were recorded in 2019 because I'm reading the book now. But in terms of the show, I think media has a shorter shelf life in that. I don't know if people go back and revisit. Well, maybe I'm completely wrong, because they did just start a Sopranos podcast about a year ago during lockdown. But I feel a desire to more effectively do this media coverage. And so I'm interested in the feedback as to whether doing just straight up reviewing the episodes the same as we review the books, or the watch throughs. So that's my take.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the end of Decode Foundation. We just watched episode 2 of the show, and we're now moving to episode 3. Thank you so much for joining us. You know where to find us. If you found us here, you know where to find us. And we'll catch you next time.
Like and subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. And to hear more readings, become a Patreon supporter at Patreon/Decode Podcast.